So hi, this is Kai. I'm here talking to you on video today, not for my transition, but actually for something called Asexuality Awareness Week. Um, Asexuality Awareness Week is a week that basically serves to have people bring awareness to the concepts of asexuality and aromanticism. So, in the MOGI spectrum, if you don't know what MOGI means, it stands for Marginalized Orientations, Gender Identities, and Intersex, and it's kind of a stand-in for the LGBTQIAP, etc., etc. So it's a little more inclusive, etc. Um, yes, so on the MOGI spectrum, asexuality and aromanticism are relatively like they can be difficult for people that don't identify as them to understand, and um, people who do identify as them often feel kind of like outcast and outsider, and like people who do identify as them but don't know it yet, like haven't discovered that they identify as this yet, tend to feel really like broken or out of place, etc., etc., because our society here in the United States is very, sex and romance oriented. And so people who don't feel any sexual attraction or romantic attraction to anybody can feel very out of place. So having Asexuality Awareness Week to bring awareness to the asexual and aromantic orientations is a really big deal, because it can make those people feel not so broken, because they realize that they're not alone and that this is like an actual thing that people experience and it's okay. So I am here because I kind of wanted to participate as someone who is asexual. I am not aromantic. I'm actually queer, is what I call it. So I don't. It's a work in progress, and I'm also transgender, female to male, as many of you already know. So I just wanted to kind of share my experience so that other people can, maybe relate to it or see how it relates to theirs. Because as I've been coming out like over the years, with different sexualities and romantic orientations and gender and everything, there has been, a lot of confusion and trying to figure out how things work. Sorry, I have a dog behind me. Um, it can be very confusing to try and muddle through these words and figure out how they apply to you, because everybody's different. Even though there's so many labels out there and everything, and everybody's going to experience their label differently. So, asexuality, how I don't remember exactly when it was that I came upon the term. I was in a relationship, a very long-term relationship with a girl, and so we were actually sexual at the time that I discovered this. And I think it was after I came out as trans, so everybody already knew I was or everybody that was close to me anyways, already knew that I identified as male. And so we were kind of sexually involved, but there was a lot of discomfort for me, and I didn't know if it was just because I just attributed it to not being comfortable in my body, and which made sense because I am transgender and I experience dysphoria. So I find this term, and I didn't identify it right away, or with it right away. Kind of the same way that I didn't identify with transgender as soon as I heard the term. I kind of mulled over it for a little while and kind of like tossed it around. And it wasn't a big deal at the time. And so I was in this relationship and we're having like less and less sex, and she's getting frustrated. And so eventually, I kind of posted on a public site, like someone was asking about my sexuality, and I was like, you know what, I'm asexual, and I just put it out there. And so I didn't really come out to my girlfriend first, which probably was a bad way to do that. But anyways, so the word kind of settled in. My friends started figuring out what it meant and how it applied to me, because I'm very romantic and I'm still very touchy-feely, and I'm cool with cuddling and kissing and even as far as like making out, but once it gets sexual, I'm like, no. Um, so coming out in other aspects of my life. So like my inner circle is very, they're very up on like a lot of things within the Mogai spectrum and just very educated on that front. But then there's other people outside that I have tried coming out to. People like, family members and parents and everything like that. And I bring up that, hey, I'm asexual, and they have no idea what it means because, I wear there's like this unofficial thing that if you're asexual, you can get like a black ring to wear on the middle finger of your right hand. Mine isn't straight up black, but I like to wear it anyways. It's become a habit. So I was explaining that to a parent at one point, and I mentioned that, asexual is you don't feel sexual attraction. You don't look at someone you think you would want to have sex with them. She's like, oh, but that's how you're supposed to be at your age. I was 19 or 20 at the time I told her. I'm going to be 22 in a couple weeks now. But anyway, so, that got me thinking, like, I don't really know what sexual attraction is supposed to feel like. And that makes it incredibly difficult to explain it to people who are not asexual. And it's the same for, aromantic people. They can't explain what a lack of romantic attraction feels like to people who feel romantic attraction because it's just always there for them. And it can also be hard that also can make it really hard to realize that you yourself are asexual or aromantic because you don't know what these things are supposed to feel like, but because you don't feel them basically. So, um, there's like resources out there that people are putting out how they experience sexual attraction, romantic attraction, everything like that. And that's really cool to kind of be able to look at and be like, okay, no, I don't feel that, and it's okay. And so yeah, so I've been out as asexual for a number of years. Oh gosh, when did I come out as transgender? It's been like four-ish years maybe that I've been out as asexual. And I'm still kind of in a place where like objectively I know it's okay. Like there are other people who are asexual. I'm meeting more and more people who identify as it, and it's really, really great to have it validated by meeting other people who identify the same way. And but every time that somebody asks what my sexuality is, like outside of Tumblr, I always feel a need to like justify it and explain it that like I don't know, and like I should just be able to say it and have it be okay. Like this is my sexuality and this is just it. And like I always feel like I need to justify it to people at any time. It's been like a thing that's actually kept me from getting into relationships. And so like when I'm getting kind of, flirty with people or anything like that, it always, comes up at some point. Of course, it's kind of important when you're going into a relationship to know what sexual boundaries are and stuff like that. And so as someone who is a sex repulsed asexual, I don't like to have sex and I don't experience the sexual attraction. That's something that I try to bring up very soon because I know I have figured out in the past that that's kind of a deal breaker for some people, unfortunately, in my experience. So I always feel a need to like keep going and going about it because I feel like I need to explain it away or something like that. And like I always find myself trying to imagine like thinking, okay, maybe I can do it with this person because it would make them happy, but it wouldn't make me happy, and it makes me so uncomfortable to even imagine trying to have sex with people. And you know what? That's okay. And like I need to come to terms with that, and that's my own personal journey. And so I want to be here and be an example for other people who identify as asexual or aromantic or who are starting to explore the terms. And obviously I can't be like a role model for aromantic people because I am a romantic person. That's a weird way to say it. I do experience romantic attraction, so I can't really be as there for the aromantic people, but you are also very valid. I can't really point. There are resources out there that you guys can look into. Um, and basically, yeah, so that's my story. And I don't know, just trying to validate myself and help other people feel validated by sharing it. So this has been going on for a while, so I'm probably gonna shut up now. But yeah, just getting that out there. So happy asexual and aromantic awareness week. And I hope you guys have all been learning some really cool stuff this week and spreading the word around to help people. And until next time, see you later. Hi, so I'm Kai as usual. So this is not a transition video. This is actually for something called the asexual. Alright, I'm gonna start over. This is Kai. This actually is not a transition video. This video is actually for something called Asexual Awareness Week. I need to not make that face. I'm gonna try again. Which is this week of October, I don't remember, it's 26th to November 1st. Mogai, asexuality is still asexuality and aromanticism. This is called Asexuality Week, but we'd also like to bring awareness to aromanticism. But anyways, I need to start this over because I just got so scatterbrained.